Night. All right, good afternoon, traders. Today is January 8th, 2024. This is the BYOB Market Wrap Up. Let's go look at some charts. Popeye. All right, so let's take this down and we'll look at the SPY and let's look at it on the daily. All right, let's just see what's going on the daily. All right, we have a high and a pullback. Let's put the quad lines in there and see where we're at. Oh my gosh, traders, we are up past the quad line midpoint. Okay? That's very bullish. All right? So we are up past the quad lines. Another couple days like this, and we could be setting new highs. Okay, on the daily time frame, new all-time highs. You get another day like this. I mean, we came from 468 and all the way up to like 474.60 at the close. Amazing. That's all I'm going to say. Amazing. All right. CCI, Commodity Channel Index, is, well, let's just say it's pointed up. All right. I'd like to see it turn tan, but it's still red right now. So not quite there. If it turns tan, could be a game on for tomorrow. All right. So there's SPY on the daily chart. So let's talk about this. It's a higher low and a higher high compared to yesterday's candle. Still haven't produced a higher high on the daily chart. Still kind of in a downtrend. All we did was spike that 8 EMA. Again, this is that one candle low that we traded below right over here on the 20th of December. And we traded below that one candle low. It's hard to call that a low, being since it's only one candle. And it just barely broke the 8 EMA, didn't even break trend indicator. But we had a 2-hour downtrend back through there, starting back on 12/28, so December 28th. So here we are rocketing back to the bottom of the December 28th high. What a rally today. Did not expect that. Anyways, let's look at the 10-minute chart. Geez, where are we going to call the pivot for tomorrow? Well, I think we just have to call it right here. You got the midpoint and you got the FOMC anchored VWAP right there. All right, so maybe we'll call it 471.83, okay? 471.83 for pivot for tomorrow, being since that's the midpoint and the anchored VWAP. That would be the point where I would expect a bounce right on there. All right, so I expect them to come down and test that. That's if they don't go shoot off for new highs tomorrow morning, being since we're closing the day at the end, we're closing the day at the high of day. Okay? 9 times out of 10, that's bullish. This is a big green candle. What we're looking for is the follow through tomorrow. We don't get the follow through, could be a red flag. Just saying that, could be a red flag if we don't get follow through. All right? So like 7 times out of 10, you get follow through on these big green candles. So those longs might be looking good tomorrow. We'll see what happens. So there's the SPY. Was in a downtrend and not quite in an uptrend yet because it hasn't broken the high. But we did break this one candle low right here. So it's definitely in a 2-hour uptrend, because if we go to the 2-hour chart, and you got to zoom in to see it, we have a 2-hour cross right there. No higher low yet, but definitely put in a higher high over these highs here. All right, so, and over this high right here. So what we got right now is 2-hour uptrend. Let's go look at QQQ. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say QQQ probably going to look the same way. All right, so blast up, spike of the falling 8 EMA. Again, we're looking for follow through tomorrow, okay, because it's just one candle. All right, without just one candle by itself doesn't quite make it, but we got one candle here. So QQQ breaking the low, the one candle low, kind of in a downtrend, still in a downtrend, but closing up over the 8, just like the SPY. I'll bet FNGU looks the same way. No surprise there. It does. All right, so here's FNGU. Now notice the December 20th candle didn't even break the 8, so it's hard for me to call that a downtrend. It's probably a 2-hour downtrend, but not a daily downtrend. And we've got a higher low right here, and you can see we're blasting up to challenge this consolidation through here that never gave us the breakout we were looking for. So there's FNGU coming up to test the backside of the uptrend line right there. So here's the spike of the uptrend line, and then there's the rubber band candle. Notice we break the rubber band candle and then kind of recover right away. And now we're coming back up to test the backside of this. So we broke the rubber band candle here. All right. That would be the rubber band candle. And then we recovered right there. So we'll see what happens. So there's FNGU. Let's take a look at IWM. All right, IWM doing kind of the same thing, breaking the consolidation low right here and then recovering back up into the resistance area. Now, IWM was not able to close over the falling 8 EMA. Not a good sign there. So we could see a pause tomorrow and then possibly a reversal tomorrow, or just a straight up reversal, or we could get follow through. Don't know what's going to happen, but not able to close over the 8 while the others did. Again, we're back up into resistance here. This would be minor resistance. They very well could roll over, come back down to here. So there's IWM. All right. Still in a downtrend on IWM, breaking below this consolidation lows right there. And so we got to go back up here and set the new high, or make a higher high of some sorts. Now we've got a higher low, but without the, not really, we got a lower low. Here's a low, here's a low. So we don't have anything going on but a downtrend in IWM. All right, let's take a look at Diamond Dow. Diamond Dow. Trading right up through the 3-ace trap and causing some divergence there between the two moving averages. So Diamond Dow up there challenging the highs again today. Nice work on Diamond Dow. Let's take a look at our indicators. Here's T2122. Okay, we started out deep in the chop sell zone down here. Made a higher low right there. Went into the buy chop zone. Made a higher low right there. Tried to make it up into the buy zone. Got pulled back. Made another lower low right here. All right, but it's a higher low compared to where we started and where we lightning bolt right there. And then we went off to make the higher high. You can see we're all the way back into the buy zone at the end of the day. So we could be headed right for here, overbought zone for tomorrow. We'll see what happens. We need some follow through. All right, here's T2123. Started out red. As you can see, it kind of matches the T2122. starting out red and constantly working its way up. T2123 starting out red, hitting that rising 200 SMA for the first time. See that? See what a rising 200 SMA for a long, it hasn't hit that in a long time. And you get that price bounce right there. So it goes up, makes an equal high, pulls back, makes a higher low. Bulls get inspired and they go off to put in a higher high right there. So nice work on T2123. Here's the 3-bar. Got a little space opening back up between trend indicator and price action. FNGU. All right, FNGU just a rocket ride all day. Up and just grinding up. Doesn't matter what it was. Previous high, speed bump, they rolled right over it. School zone, speed bump, they rolled right over it. Everything. They just rolled right over it. Looking like they want to, I gotta say, they look like they want to fill the gap right here. We have an open gap back here on the 2nd, the beginning of the year. Looking like FNGU wants to fill the gap. Could happen. We'll see. We'll see. But they came all the way up to here. This was where the gap, where we gapped down to, and they stopped right there. So there's FNGU. See the green trend indicator all day long, even crossing over the VWAP right there. Let's go back to look at some charts, and let's take a look at USO. Okay, here's USO, and we were on the other side of the downtrend line. Now we're back under it again. So the downtrend resumes here on USO. UNG, wow. What did I say? It's probably going to come up here and embrace this downtrend line. Did not expect that. We nailed it today, right into the notch. See the arbitrary uptrend line right there on that channel? We went right into the notch right there, that downtrend line, trading all the way up to $6. And this is good. If you guys find a red candle, something to think about. Jump in that, you got a river of money flowing in. Look for that red candle. Maybe scoot down to a 65-minute chart. Maybe scoot down to a 30-minute chart. You know, look for that red candle. Maybe you can jump in right near the 8 on a red candle. But this is moving up. So let it pull back. And let's see if we can find a red candle. Maybe we get a pullback, or maybe they shoot through. Who knows what happens? But you can see right here, they held this area right through there, that support. You can see where I drew the box in. They came down to it, traded up. Came down to it, traded up. So UNG in an uptrend, but hitting the downtrend line right there. All right? Technically in an uptrend, making higher lows and higher highs. Now let's see where it sets the next higher low. Maybe it's on the other side of the downtrend line. Maybe it's down here somewhere. We'll see. All right, let's check out precious metals, silver. Pull up the daily chart, zoom in. All right, so here's precious metals. Still trying to hang on to that higher low right there. They challenged it a few days ago, but still trapped underneath this uptrend line. So they hit the backside and they're still underneath. You can see the 3-8 trap is now underneath trend indicator. Not a good sign for silver. I still have some faith. I still think it may consolidate here and then wind up going up later. We need the dollar to fall. And I think that will inspire the bulls to rip this back up to the midpoint right over here. In the meantime, it's struggling to stay up over this, on top of this uptrend line. Right now, it just can't do it. Last 4 days, it's closed underneath the uptrend line. Gold. All right, here we are with gold, uptrend line right there. Okay, and we closed below the uptrend line. All right, but don't forget, we made a higher high up here. We just barely inked it out, but we made a higher high up there. Okay, as far as this rally goes, not an all-time high, just a rally, got a higher low, got a higher high. So maybe we get a higher low right through here. Let's see if we can get a bounce back up to trend indicator, maybe back up to this 8 EMA right there. So there's gold. Let's take a look at SMH. Wow, SMH. All right, SMH doing it right. Bouncing off the minor support. That's the hump right there. Hit the minor support and bounces back up through the 8 EMA. Look for this to challenge the backside of that 8 EMA and continue back up towards these highs. It's either that or it's setting up a head and shoulders pattern with this being the head, that wick being the left shoulder, and a right shoulder soon to come. All right, so XLF. Big day in the financials at the end of the week here, so got the wrong one. XLF ripping through the 3-ace trap, closing well above it, making a new high for this year, just for this year. All right, not an all-time high, just a new high for this year. So nice work on XLF. Putting in a new yearly high. Now keep in mind, we're only 8 days into the year, all right? So it's good. It's managed to hold this uptrend right through there and ripping through the 3-ace trap and closing at the highs of this bull flag. It's looking more like a breakout coming. We'll see what happens. All right, there's XLF. Let's take a look at IYT. It's the transports. Transports hitting the minor support right here. See how that, I'll put a line right here. And you can see how we hit this area right over there. There's the minor support. Bouncing back up through, spiking and closing over the 8 EMA. So I like that. Not quite able to, not enough juice to close a green trend indicator though. But still closing over the 8 EMA. Nice job there. All right, so in the markets, we have dollar index traded an eensy bit lower, but couldn't quite pierce back through this downtrend line. So stuck on the other side of the downtrend line, but underneath the flat 200. So you need this to kind of melt down a little bit more to get the precious metals going. And that'll certainly help crude oil and natural gas if we could just get this to fade a little bit lower, not to mention the markets. Let me just say, if those oil and gas stocks get going, we could see a nice spike in the SPY energy sector. That would be really good because already the financials are shooting up, all right? But technology is always well on its way. Technology typically leads. So what do we got for the economic calendar for this week? Today was a light day. Tomorrow's a light day. Wednesday's a light day. The main event's CPI 8:30 on Thursday. All right? There's the main event. Treasury's going to make a statement, but it's not the same as FOMC statement. All right? So Treasury's going to make a statement at 2, right after the CPI comes out. So maybe a little bit of shaking up to be happening. We'll see. All right? PPI final demand at 8:30. Kashkari is going to speak at 10. And on the earnings front, we have, let me see if I can find it. Let me just say, Thursday is an exciting day. Taiwan Semiconductor, $500 billion there. But they don't know when they're going to report. So, you know, it's kind of like throw a dart up in the air and get out of the way because we don't know when it's going to report. Friday, this is the main event right here. JP Morgan, half a trillion, roughly. All right. They're going to report in the sunshine morning. United Health, half a trillion in the morning. Bank of America, a third of a trillion in the morning. Wells Fargo, about 180 billion. They're going to report in the morning. BlackRock, 115 billion. They're going to report in the morning. Citigroup, 100 billion in the morning. Bank of New York Mellon, 40 billion. So a whole lot of capital is going to be reporting in the morning in the XLF. XLF is definitely, probably, most likely going to move on Friday. All right. So that's it, traders. I put a new video, and the new video in there is the rubber band video. So it's in the YouTube. I posted it up in the alerts in case you want to see it up there. And I will see all of you tomorrow at 8. Hope you had a wonderful day. Oh, let's go over this. What we played today was the trend day. All right, we played the trend day. And how the trend day works is, let me just take this out of the way. All right. And let's see if I find another one. All right, so here's a better one. All right. So between, I do need VWAP. Where's VWAP? Edit. There's VWAP. Okay, so between 11, and noon, when 9 times out of 10, when price, okay, is price, the 3 and the 8 are all up over VWAP between 11 and noon. 9 times out of 10, this is just going to rock all day long. Notice the 3 never crossed the 8. Not once. Price spiked it a few times. See that? We got a spike, a quasi spike, another like miniature spike, but the 3 never crossed. All right. So if you know this trade, you're buying 470 calls or 471 calls, 469 calls, with one DTE or 4 DTEs that are good till Friday. And you're like hanging on as long as every candle just keeps closing out over the 8. You're in this till the end of the day. Notice that. If you'd have tried to short this, they would have stole your lunch right there. You would have heaved your lunch if you ate it before they stole it, or they would have just stole your lunch money right there. See that? Not one pullback. There's not one way to get out right through there. They just rocket ride the whole way. It was like a choo-choo train, the little red engine that could. They just choo-chooed up the hill the whole way. See that? So that's the trend day, okay? This is price and the 3 up over the 8, and all 3 of them, all 3 up over VWAP. Okay? Right there. Write this down in history. January 8, 2024, John reviews the trend day. All right? And this what gave me the courage to stay in. Now, if you didn't get in and you didn't know it was a trend day, okay, there were opportunities to jump in. See this? Green takes out red, you can get in. Green takes out red, you can jump in. Green takes out red, you can jump in. This was like a river of money, and if you were walking along the riverbank, all right, all you needed to see was green take out red, and you could have jumped on that log or on that raft and rode that down to the pool of money, or the bay or the lake of money where it stopped flowing right there. See that? There you go. Find a red candle. When it gets wiped out, jump in. Right there. Okay? So that's what we played today. And I imagine you could have played that on QQQ. I'm just curious. And if you played it on QQQ, it worked too. Diamond Dow. Imagine you could have played that on Diamond Dow. Not quite so much, right? Not the same. It was good, but it wasn't like this, right? This was prettier. I like this one better than Diamond Dow. It got off to a rough start, but it did work. All right, so, and IWM worked right there. You had to manage that on the 15. Wonder if those crossed right there. So the 3 was at 194.99 and the 8 was at 194.71. So actually, right there, they never crossed. See that on the 10? Up all day. And they never crossed. All right, so there's the trend day. I hope you add that to your toolbox because you can make a lot of money if you know what you're doing on a trend day. And it also give you a lot of courage to stick in there just when you think you want to give up at 1 because you made money and it goes off. You ever have those days? You ever have those days where you're in and you make money and you're like, oh, I'm done for the day. And it keeps going on without you and you're saying like, wow, I wish I would have known that, right? Well, this is the setup for that day. All right? So you can hang on till the end of day. All right? It's called the trend day. All right? This will give you the courage to hang on till the end of day, knowing that it's a trend day. Now, this only works out 9 times out of 10, so 10% of the time it may not work out. All right? But I got to say, most of the time, it's a winner. All right? So there you go. Now you got a new strategy for your toolbox. All right? And that's it. I'll see you guys in YouTube land at 4. My people, I'll see you at 8 in the morning. YouTube land, I'll see you at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm sorry. I'll see you at 8 o'clock in the morning. All right, traders, everybody have a wonderful evening. Tomorrow, I got a webinar. We're going to do the benefits of VWAP and anchored VWAP. All right? I'll see you all tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock.